Hello, welcome to part 4 of rolling your own analytics system. In part 3, as I watched the video as it was rendering, I made a couple of mistakes in here. I mentioned name one bot count, and I said name the other one demo. You need to name one bot count and one hit count. These demos were just demos, so don't name anything demo. Bot count and hit count. And the other thing that I showed is when I was actually constructing the database, and I constructed the ID field. Let me go back to that. The ID field that I was constructing. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Structure. Hit ID. And I made that an integer, but I didn't give it a value. Now, apparently by default it gave itself a value of 11, but I would normally put the value of 11 in there. So just so that we've covered all of that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and include our script into a file that we will upload to our server. And here is one of the files that I already have. Now my script is called statgrab basic PHP, and I also have another one, server stuff PHP. But statgrab basic is just the one that will, for me, take all of this and put it into whatever site that I want to put it in. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and open up a file I will be using on my personal website, and that is a header include file. And the reason I'm going to put this in a header include file is because this header include file is already in every file on my website. So all the files that I have, I'm just going to paste that in. All of the files that I have on my website right now use this header include file. So at least in theory, and we'll see just in a minute, if I go ahead and put this into the header include file, then it should just render into all of the files. So let me pause while I find both files to put up there. Hang on. Okay, I went ahead and put the header 11 file up, and now I'm going to send up statgrab basic. Okay, now if I'm really lucky, this is going to work out just perfectly the first time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to my website, wherever my website went. Not sure, but I'll open it again. And it opens, so that tells me I'm not getting shot an error. So what I'm going to do, because it's not going to register anything until I go from one page to the next, so I'm going to move around a couple of pages here. I'm going to go to Pages, then I'm going to go to Video, and then I'm going to go, after Video, I'm going to go to Blog, and then back home. And we'll see how that works. Back home. Okay, now let me go to the database here, and I'm in hit count. Go to Browse. Oh, and by the way, I found another robot I need to exclude from this because he somehow put in about 500 records. Okay, let's see. Gotta hit it again. Alright, because I'm at the first record. And now it's pausing, taking its sweet time. Come on. There we go. Okay, and you can see len.farnath.net, index.php, len.farnath.net, blog PHP, len.farnath.net, index2.php. So it is working and tracking my website, that I just put it in, and all I put in are the two files. The one long file that we made, and I took my header file, which this is a header file right here. My menu system is a header file that goes throughout my website, and by using this menu file throughout my website, all I've got to do when I want to put this in is just include this into my menu. So I'm going to play for a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, not quite sure where I left off, but I had to edit something in my website, and I'm going to have to take that out because I opened up my script in Notepad++ and showed you my passwords. So yeah, that's another part of the thing that I started to mention before, was the reason I didn't put passwords in there. It's not that I'm not putting passwords in there, I'm not putting my passwords in there on YouTube. So that's the most important aspect to bear in mind. You do put your passwords in that script, the basic script that that does all of the parsing and all that. How come I'm not moving here? Got something going on slow on the internet. Maybe my connection, or maybe something else, I don't know. But anyway, here we go. So in summary, you can see how this really can help you to track things on your website. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit this one more time. Oh, the thing that I had to do is I had to change the number on my script, because as you can see, I'm tracking this by hit site, and now when I put that file up, I didn't change that number from 2. So now what I can do is, now that I have changed the number from 2, is I can run queries by website, and as you can see, this is number 4. So if I pop that script up again, you'll see that password. I only want to edit this once. Okay, I've got that out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run an SQL hit count query on all 4 sites, and I'm going to show you here what's really neat about this is that when you put it in every site you have, if you have, like me, a lot of sites that have and that's not showing up at all. So because I'm in bot count, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to run this in hit count, and let's see, yeah, I was in hit count, but the query I needed to modify, so we'll do that real quick. And let's see, from bot count to hit count. Okay, there we go. Should give me, yep, I have len.farneth.net down here. I have Virginia News Live. I have Florablog, and this is the one the bots just started really tearing up, and they got like 600 some bot hits. So I'm going to have to take that out. But I'm going to purge all of my information and redo everything from the beginning. Now, what's really neat about this is I have in some of my websites this thing called a Revolver Map. And if you scroll down to the bottom of one of my pages and see this, it's going to be a tiny little ball that looks like a map. It'll show you in real time where your hits are coming from on your site. I have 2 that are me that says King George, although I'm not in King George. It's as near as my IP will allow. And it says that there's one coming from Kenya right now. So, you know, it's only, yeah, it's like 12:30 at night, so there's really not a lot of activity going on. But what's kind of neat is my computer's close to my bed, and I'll just crawl in bed and leave this Revolver Map going as I'm getting ready to doze off. Sometimes I'll look up and there's like 4, 5, 6 things going on all at once, and I can check them out. And now with my new system, all I got to do is I just run over here to browse. Now I'm going to make pages for all of these queries, so that all I have to do is just hit one page and I'll have a whole bunch of information coming up. Now there's another thing you can do too, and that is to geocode. I briefly touched on this before. You can geocode the IPs that come into your website. And there's a pretty complex system, I haven't quite got it mastered yet, where you download this huge free database, and using this huge free database you compare the IPs against the database, and then it somehow returns the coordinates or geolocation, and it also returns the city and all that. So I think that'd be really neat to add into your analytics program. But for right now, this is a really simple way to gather a lot of information on who's visiting your site, what they're doing there, what pages they're looking at, what pages they've come from, And what's really neat, if you've got something that creates a lot of bot traffic on there, or any kind of traffic for that matter, is you can see when I started this about 4 hours ago, I had like maybe 300 hits on the website, and it's been maybe a total of 4 hours, and between this one and the other one, I'm showing somewhere around 3,700 total hits. And so now I can do further analysis on that, like I did before with the where these hits are coming from and where they're going to. I can do the same thing with my bot hits. I just paste that in, click go, and it's going to tell me that I've had 1,252 hits on that site, 929 on that one, and 677 on that one. I'm going to reset all of these to 0 and let it all start again so I can get a more natural thing. Plus I'm going to move these 600 from my other table back onto this table, and that's going to bring this number up much higher than this one, so that will end up being on top. And then the Virginia News, you know, none of them are really doing terrible. But yes, I'll go ahead and make a video on the results pages that you can build, so you don't have to jump onto your database's MySql admin page, PHP admin page all the time to get this information. You'll just have a nifty little script that you can just go to, and it will show you your stats, and then you'll be able to click into your stats and get a little more insight, and you'll be able to click on pages and see where these pages came from and what search engine traffic you're getting and what your page looks like on that search engine. So it's a lot of really fun stuff that you can do with this. Unfortunately, unless you watch this video in a couple of weeks or so, I don't want to say unfortunately, I also do side work, web building, and I just took on a couple of really huge jobs, and one of them's pretty much under the gun, so I'm not sure that I'll be able to finish this out within the next week. But as I get some more time on my hands, I will make these pages. And if you know PHP, you know what to do with this data. At least for now, you know how to get it into a database so you can look at it. And as I said, I'll try and make something a little more easy. And if you look down in the descriptions in a day or so, I'll have links to where you can find the code to put this whole thing together yourself. Thank you very much, and I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please thumbs up, subscribe, rate, whatever. I don't know what the rate is. I've never really found that. But yeah, thumbs up are always nice. Love them. And look for more on this subject later on. Thank you, and take care.